18. Black actors who lost faith and went downhill. What happens when the brightest black stars in Hollywood lose their way? From Oscar winners to household names, some of the most talented actors have faced devastating falls from grace. Today, we're exposing the harsh realities behind their struggles, addiction, legal battles, and shattered reputations. This isn't just gossip. It's a wake-up call about the pressures black entertainers endure. Ready to uncover the truth? Hit that subscribe button and join us as we dive deep into the untold stories on legends of black excellence. Don't miss out, your perspective matters. Wesley Snipes. At one point, Wesley Snipes was one of the most bankable stars in Hollywood. Known for his intense screen presence, martial arts expertise, and dynamic charisma. Snipes made a name for himself in films like New Jack City Demolition Man and Passenger 57. But it was his role as the vampire-slaying hero in Blade that solidified his legacy. The Blade trilogy, released between 1998 and 2004, grossed over $400 million worldwide and turned Snipes into a global action superstar. But behind the fame, Snipes was walking a risky path, one that would eventually derail his career. His legal troubles began when he stopped paying federal income taxes, reportedly failing to file returns for multiple years. Rather than admitting fault, Snipes sided with a group promoting tax protest ideologies, claiming he owed nothing to the IRS. This decision led to criminal charges, and in 2008, he was convicted on 3 misdemeanor counts of failing to file tax returns, resulting in a 3-year prison sentence. He served nearly the full term from 2010 to 2013. The fallout was devastating. Not only did he lose years of momentum, but the Hollywood landscape shifted while he was gone. Younger stars emerged, superhero franchises evolved, and Snipes was no longer a go-to name for big-budget films. His return included small roles in movies like The Expendables 3 and Coming to America, but none came close to matching his former impact. Adding to his decline were rumors about his difficult behavior on set, particularly during the filming of Blade Trinity. Reports suggested he clashed with the director, and co-stars communicated through sticky notes and even refused to open his eyes during certain scenes. These stories damaged his professional reputation and made producers reluctant to cast him in major roles. Snipes also aligned himself with fringe spiritual ideologies, including links to the Nubian Nation, a group known for its unconventional beliefs and cult-like structure. While he never fully endorsed their teachings in public, his association with the group added another layer of controversy to his personal brand. Once a symbol of strength, independence, and groundbreaking representation, Snipes' fall wasn't just about legal issues, it was about trust, lost opportunities wasted, and timing missed. His story stands as a powerful reminder that talent alone isn't enough in Hollywood. Discipline, humility, and accountability matter just as much, especially when the spotlight is brightest. Lauryn Hill. In the late 1990s, Lauryn Hill was the undisputed queen of hip-hop and soul. After her work with the acclaimed Fugees, she released The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill in 1998. The album earned 5 Grammy Awards, making Hill the first woman to receive that many in a single night. It stayed atop charts for weeks and sold tens of millions of copies, establishing her as an icon of artistic brilliance and social conscience. But at the height of her acclaim, Hill began to retreat from the glare of fame. She stepped away from the limelight to focus on raising her 6 children and to explore deeper personal convictions. That evolution led her to question mainstream musical structures and the business around them. Hill started giving unpredictable performances, sometimes arriving late, cutting shows short, or canceling without warning. This erratic pattern alienated industry insiders and confused her fan base. In 2007, her resistance to the mainstream came to a legal head. Hill was indicted for failing to file federal income tax returns on an estimated $1.8 million earned between 2005 and 2007. She accepted a plea agreement, served 3 months in prison, and spent the rest of her sentence under home confinement and probation. She also paid several $100,000 in back taxes and penalties. Despite legal consequences, she made no apologies for changing her path. Hill continued giving sporadic, intimate shows infused with religious texts and spiritual sermons. She often referenced Christian teachings and her desire to live outside what she viewed as a superficial entertainment culture. Many respected her refusal to compromise artistic integrity and spiritual growth. Yet, for most of the wider public, the shift raised questions. Critics labeled her unreliable, citing blank concert dates, mercurial live sets, and a refusal to engage with traditional music promotion. Record labels and festival planners became hesitant to book her. A career that once towered at the forefront of black artistry slowly eroded. In the years that followed, Hill avoided releasing another full-length studio album. She focused on local church appearances, community events, and independent projects that reflected her evolving faith and introspective worldview. While her artistry never dimmed in the eyes of her true fans, commercial relevance slipped. Ultimately, Hill's trajectory illustrates the chasm that can grow when personal and spiritual beliefs conflict with industry norms. Her gifts remain undeniable, but her journey highlights the price of nonconformity in a world built on consistency and marketability. Once universally celebrated and unassailable, Lauryn Hill now exists in a spiritual and artistic niche, honored by a slim, devoted audience rather than embraced by mainstream acclaim. Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard once stood as one of Hollywood's brightest talents. With his Oscar-nominated performance in Hustle and Flow 2005 and major roles in films like Crash 4 Brothers and Iron Man, he built a reputation for playing intense, complex characters. Audiences and critics alike praised his depth, emotional intelligence, and the natural gravitas he brought to every role. But just as fast as his star rose, it began to dim, driven by personal choices, public controversy, and a spiritual shift that baffled many. Howard's first major setback came after his breakout role in Iron Man 2008. Despite playing a central character, he was famously replaced in the sequel, reportedly due to contract disputes and on-set tension. That marked a turning point. Although he continued to land roles, including his acclaimed performance as Lucius Lyon on Empire, his off-screen behavior often made more headlines than his work. Over time, Terrence Howard started making increasingly unusual claims in interviews and public appearances. He spoke passionately about teriology, a belief system he claimed would revolutionize science and mathematics. According to Howard, basic math was flawed, asserting that 1 + 1 = 2 instead of 1. He also referenced symbols like the flower of life and began discussing his theories on geometry, gravity, and energy in ways that many labeled pseudoscience. These ideas were met with confusion and ridicule, especially from the scientific community. As his beliefs became more extreme, Howard stepped away from acting entirely in 2019, announcing that he was retiring to pursue truth through his discoveries. He told the press he was developing new technologies based on true universal mathematics, and even claimed he had created a propulsion system that could replace traditional flight. At one point, he presented his ideas at an African diaspora event in Uganda, claiming his inventions could change humanity. Most experts dismissed these statements, and his once polished image became one of eccentricity and detachment from reality. While Howard has said his work is guided by a divine force and deeper understanding of the universe, his retreat from mainstream Hollywood and his increasing distance from traditional science have led many to see him as someone who lost direction. Though he still garners attention, both positive and skeptical, his legacy as a performer now competes with his controversial beliefs. Terrence Howard's story is not just one of fame and fallout. It's a story of a brilliant actor whose quest for deeper meaning and purpose led him away from the industry that once embraced him and into a world where his ideas remain misunderstood and polarizing. DMX. Earl Simmons, known to the world as DMX, wasn't just a rapper. He was a force of raw emotion, spiritual conflict, and untamed talent. Rising to fame in the late 1990s, DMX dropped hit after hit with albums like It's Dark and Hell is Hot, 1998, and And then there was X 1999, selling over 74 million records worldwide. His music was aggressive and gritty, but underneath the tough exterior was a man constantly crying out to God, sometimes with hope, other times with pain. What set DMX apart was his honesty about his struggles. Every album featured a prayer track where he spoke to God directly, asking for forgiveness, strength, and purpose. On stage and in interviews, he often paused to lead public prayers, unapologetically professing his Christian faith. Many fans connected deeply with that vulnerability, seeing him not as a perfect man, but one who wrestled openly with his demons. But the battle DMX fought wasn't just spiritual, it was personal, legal, and physical. His addiction began early, reportedly after being tricked into smoking crack at just 14 years old. That addiction followed him throughout his life. Though he made multiple attempts at rehab and had stretches of sobriety, he often relapsed, each time slipping further from stability. Outside of music, DMX had a promising start in film, starring in action hits like Belly Romeo Must Die and Cradle to the Grave. His charisma on screen was undeniable, and for a while it seemed Hollywood might offer him a second career path. But as his legal troubles mounted arrests for drug possession, tax evasion, and probation violations, opportunities dried up. Despite all the setbacks, DMX never stopped talking about God. He even preached in churches and talked about becoming a pastor one day. But that pull toward the light was always competing with the darkness. Fans watched with heartbreak as he bounced between recovery and relapse, jail and freedom music and silence. In April 2021, DMX suffered a heart attack following a reported overdose. After a week on life support, he passed away at just 50 years old. The world mourned the loss of a man who was both a warrior and a wounded soul. DMX's story isn't just about decline. It's about a man who desperately wanted to be redeemed, who never stopped believing in God, even when he couldn't save himself. His downfall wasn't from a loss of faith, but perhaps from a life where faith alone wasn't enough to overcome the trauma and addiction that haunted him to the end. Orlando Brown. Orlando Brown was once the face of childhood fun. As Eddie Thomas on Disney Channel's That's So Raven, he brought laughter, charm, and undeniable talent to millions of living rooms. With a background in acting, rapping, and singing, he seemed to have it all. Starting as a child actor in the late 90s with roles in Family Matters, Major Pain, and Two of a Kind, he was clearly positioned for long-term success in Hollywood. But after the Disney spotlight faded, Orlando's world slowly unraveled, publicly, dramatically, and heartbreakingly. Once the picture of youth success, he began making headlines not for new projects, but for erratic behavior, legal issues, and deeply disturbing interviews that left fans stunned and concerned. Following That's So Raven, Brown's life became a roller coaster of troubling incidents. He was arrested multiple times for charges including drug possession, domestic battery, resisting arrest, and burglary. His mugshots became more recognizable than his TV roles. Around the same time, his public appearances grew more unpredictable. He'd slur through interviews, make bizarre claims about celebrities, and often seemed mentally and emotionally unstable. Despite the chaos, Orlando occasionally spoke about turning his life around through faith. In 2020, a video surfaced of him in a church program giving his testimony about being saved and overcoming addiction. He claimed he had accepted Jesus Christ and was undergoing rehabilitation. For a moment, it seemed like a breakthrough. Fans were hopeful that this was the beginning of a comeback story. But the stability was short-lived. Brown later returned to social media with more disturbing videos, strange behavior, and new run-ins with the law. In late 2022, he was arrested again in Ohio for allegedly threatening a family member with a knife. The incident raised fresh concerns about his mental health, even though he had reportedly been working with faith-based recovery programs. Throughout all the ups and downs, one thing has remained consistent: Orlando's acknowledgement of God and spirituality. He's often referred to divine intervention as the reason he's still alive, and he frequently uses religious language when talking about his life's battles. However, fans and observers can't help but notice the disconnect between his faith and his actions, a gap often filled with relapse, instability, and sadness. Today, Orlando Brown serves as a sobering example of what happens when fame arrives too early, support comes too late, and personal demons are left unchecked. While he hasn't given up on faith, the road to true recovery remains rocky, uncertain, and still very much ongoing. Stacey Dash. Stacey Dash first captured hearts in the mid-1990s as Dionne Davenport in the iconic teen comedy Clueless. Her portrayal of the sharp-witted, fashion-savvy best friend became a cultural touchstone, establishing her as one of Hollywood's promising young actresses. Throughout the late 90s and early 2000s, Dash worked steadily, appearing in television shows and films, maintaining a career that seemed poised for continued growth. However, unlike many of her contemporaries, Dash's trajectory took an unexpected turn when she increasingly stepped away from acting to pursue outspoken political views that clashed with much of Hollywood's liberal environment. In 2010, she publicly identified as a conservative, a stance that put her at odds with many peers and fans. Dash's outspoken political commentary extended beyond mere opinions. She became a vocal supporter of Republican policies and figures, including Donald Trump. She appeared as a political commentator on various networks such as Fox News and Newsmax, voicing controversial opinions on topics like race relations, immigration, and feminism. This pivot alienated many former fans and resulted in a significant decline in her acting opportunities. Her public persona grew even more contentious over the years. Dash's comments often sparked backlash and accusations of divisiveness, and she faced criticism for statements perceived as dismissive of the struggles faced by the Black community. Despite this, she defended her right to express her beliefs, framing it as an exercise of free speech and individual empowerment. While Dash has spoken about her faith and spirituality, it is clear that her journey with religion has intersected heavily with her political views. At times, she has framed her political awakening as aligned with her Christian beliefs, citing moral and traditional values as core motivations. However, this fusion of faith and politics further complicated her public image, especially within the entertainment industry, where such views often meet resistance. Over time, the combination of political controversy and the resulting professional fallout contributed to a downward shift in Dash's entertainment career. Her roles became sporadic, mostly confined to reality television appearances and guest spots, far from the steady acting career she once enjoyed. In recent years, Stacey Dash has embraced her role as a cultural provocateur more than that of a traditional actress. While she continues to engage with faith and politics publicly, her presence in Hollywood is a shadow of what it once was. Her story reflects the challenges and consequences of navigating fame, personal beliefs, and public perception, showing how quickly an acting career can decline when the spotlight shifts away from performance to polarizing ideology. Kanye West. Kanye West began his career as a groundbreaking music producer and rapper, but his ambitions extended into acting and filmmaking. Early in his career, Kanye showed interest in expanding his artistic footprint, even making brief appearances in films and creating short films that showcased his visionary style. However, his public image has undergone a dramatic transformation over the past decade, marked by highly publicized controversies and erratic behavior that overshadowed his artistic contributions. Once celebrated for pushing creative boundaries, Kanye's increasingly unpredictable actions and statements have sparked concern and criticism from fans, industry peers, and mental health advocates. In 2020, Kanye publicly revealed his struggles with bipolar disorder, a diagnosis that helped some understand the erratic nature of his public persona. However, even with this acknowledgement, many of his actions, including inflammatory comments and divisive political endorsements, led to a significant loss of public goodwill. West's controversial support for polarizing figures and policies, including his vocal endorsement of former President Donald Trump and an ill-fated 2020 presidential run, alienated many fans and colleagues. His political statements often seemed at odds with his previous messages promoting social justice and empowerment, leading to confusion and disappointment among supporters. In addition to political controversies, Kanye's personal life became tabloid fodder. His high-profile marriage to Kim Kardashian, once a symbol of celebrity power couples, ended amid intense media scrutiny. The dissolution of their relationship, coupled with Kanye's erratic public behavior, contributed to the perception of a man losing control over his personal and professional life. Though Kanye West's ventures into acting and film production were limited, his influence in entertainment was undeniable. However, his erratic conduct and controversial stances led to many brands and collaborators distancing themselves from him, resulting in lost endorsements and opportunities. Faith played a complex role in Kanye's life. Raised in a Christian household, he publicly embraced Christianity in recent years, releasing gospel albums and speaking about his spiritual journey. Despite this, some critics argue that his actions have not always aligned with the values he professes, further complicating his public image. Today, Kanye West remains a polarizing figure, talented and innovative, yet mired in controversy. His story illustrates how mental health struggles, public missteps, and conflicting personal beliefs can derail even the most promising careers, marking a steep decline from creative genius to a cautionary tale in the entertainment world. Chris Tucker. Chris Tucker rose to fame in the late 1990s and early 2000s as one of Hollywood's most beloved comedic actors. Best known for his breakout role as Detective James Carter in the blockbuster Rush Hour series, alongside Jackie Chan, Tucker's rapid-fire delivery, high energy, and charismatic persona quickly made him a fan favorite. His unique blend of physical comedy and witty improvisation helped him carve a distinct place in the entertainment industry. At his peak, Tucker was among the highest-paid actors in Hollywood. Reports from the early 2000s indicate that he earned roughly $20 million for Rush Hour 2 alone, a testament to his star power at the time. Despite his success, however, his career trajectory didn't follow the expected upward curve. After Rush Hour 3 in 2007, Chris Tucker largely stepped away from the spotlight for reasons that intrigued both fans and industry insiders. One major factor behind Tucker's relative disappearance was his outspoken views on faith and personal principles. A devout Christian, Tucker often spoke about how his spirituality guided his choices in both his career and personal life. He reportedly turned down numerous roles that conflicted with his religious beliefs or that he felt compromised his values. While this conviction was admirable, it also limited the types of projects he would accept, potentially narrowing his opportunities in an industry known for its demand for flexibility and compromise. In addition to personal choices, Tucker faced financial and legal challenges. At one point, he was reported to have significant tax debts, leading to complications with the IRS. Such financial struggles, combined with his selective approach to roles, contributed to a slowdown in his public appearances and film projects. Furthermore, the changing landscape of Hollywood and the rise of new comedic talents made it harder for Tucker to regain the same level of prominence. Despite his reduced screen presence, Tucker's influence on comedy remains undeniable. His performances, particularly in Friday and the Rush Hour franchise, continue to resonate with audiences, showcasing his talent for combining humor with heart. In recent years, fans have eagerly anticipated a Rush Hour 4, with Tucker's involvement becoming a topic of discussion, highlighting how much his presence still matters in pop culture. Chris Tucker's story exemplifies how personal convictions, financial hurdles, and industry changes can impact even the brightest stars. Though his career faced challenges, his contributions to comedy remain significant, and many hope for a resurgence that matches the energy and charm that first made him a household name. Cuba Gooding Jr. Cuba Gooding Jr. burst onto the Hollywood scene in the early 1990s, quickly earning acclaim for his dynamic performances and undeniable charisma. His breakthrough role came in 1991 with Boys in the Hood, where he portrayed a troubled teen navigating the challenges of inner-city life. However, it was his stunning portrayal of Carl Brashear in Men of Honor 2000, and especially his role as Rod Tidwell in Jerry Maguire 1996, that catapulted him to mainstream fame. For Jerry Maguire, Gooding won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor, solidifying his reputation as one of the era's most promising talents. Despite this early success, Cuba Gooding Jr.'s career trajectory started to falter in the mid-2000s. While he continued to act in numerous films, many of them were less prestigious and often received poor critical reviews. The roles he took on began to lean heavily towards direct-to-video productions and low-budget projects, a stark contrast to his earlier work alongside Hollywood heavyweights. This shift suggested difficulties in maintaining the momentum that had once propelled him to stardom. Several factors contributed to this downturn. Industry insiders noted that Gooding's typecasting as the energetic, sometimes intense supporting character limited his opportunities for diverse roles. Additionally, his personal life encountered turbulence with reports of legal troubles and erratic behavior making headlines in recent years. These issues further complicated his efforts to secure high-profile roles. In 2020, Gooding faced serious allegations, which impacted his public image, casting a shadow over his career and further distancing him from mainstream projects. Financially, like many actors who experience a decline in top-tier roles, Gooding's earnings saw a considerable decrease. He went from multi-million-dollar paychecks to smaller salaries associated with independent films and television appearances. This transition illustrates the harsh realities of Hollywood, where fame can be fleeting and career longevity depends on adaptability and reputation. Nevertheless, Cuba Gooding Jr. still commands a certain level of respect for his early work and the intensity he brought to his characters. His Oscar win remains a high point in his career, showcasing his capacity for profound performances. Fans and critics alike hope that he can overcome recent setbacks and possibly rekindle his career with more substantial roles. Cuba Gooding Jr.'s story is a reminder of the unpredictable nature of the entertainment business. Success does not guarantee permanence, and personal as well as professional challenges can dramatically alter an actor's path. While his star dimmed after years of prominence, his early achievements continue to underscore his talent and potential. Monique first gained widespread recognition for her sharp wit and commanding presence as a stand-up comedian and television actress. She became a household name through her role as Nicole "Nikki" Parker on the hit sitcom The Parkers, which aired from 1999 to 2004. Her comedic timing and vibrant personality earned her praise, and she was considered one of the most talented comedians of her generation. However, it was her dramatic role in the 2009 film Precious that brought her career to a new peak. Portraying Mary, the abusive mother of the title character, Monique's performance was raw, powerful, and deeply unsettling, earning her the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. This achievement marked a significant milestone, positioning her among Hollywood's elite actors. Despite this high point, Monique's career trajectory took a complicated turn after her Oscar win. Instead of enjoying increased opportunities and mainstream success, she found herself increasingly marginalized within the entertainment industry. Reports and interviews revealed that Monique experienced pushback from studios and industry executives who allegedly blacklisted her, limiting her access to roles and projects. This reportedly stemmed from her outspoken criticism of Hollywood's lack of diversity and her outspoken nature regarding pay disparities, particularly in relation to other actresses of her caliber. Financially, Monique has openly discussed her frustrations with the pay gap and unequal treatment compared to her peers. She notably declined to promote the Netflix comedy special, Monique, My Name is Monique, in 2018, citing unfair compensation, which sparked a public debate about race, gender, and equity in the entertainment business. Her refusal highlighted systemic challenges faced by Black actresses, especially those who demand fair treatment and respect in an industry often reluctant to confront its biases. Career-wise, Monique shifted focus back to stand-up comedy and live performances, where she retains a loyal fan base and artistic control. While she has not secured the same level of film and television roles post-Precious, she continues to be a respected figure for her resilience and commitment to authenticity. Monique's journey exposes the harsh realities that even Oscar-winning actors can face significant barriers in Hollywood, particularly Black women who challenge the status quo. Her story serves as a powerful example of the intersection between talent recognition and systemic obstacles. Though her mainstream career slowed, Monique remains an influential voice in entertainment and activism, advocating for equity and respect for artists of color. Her legacy goes beyond awards. It's about courage, honesty, and the ongoing fight against industry discrimination. Tyrese Gibson. Tyrese Gibson burst onto the entertainment scene in the late 1990s as a singer, quickly earning recognition with his smooth R&B hits like Sweet Lady and How You Gonna Act Like That. His musical talent paved the way for his acting career, which took off after his debut in the 2001 blockbuster Baby Boy. His role as Jody, a complex young man trying to find his path, was met with praise and helped establish him as a promising actor in Hollywood. Tyrese then became a prominent figure in the Fast and Furious franchise, playing Roman Pierce, a fan-favorite character known for his humor and loyalty. The series brought him international fame and steady work, securing his place as a recognizable action star. Additionally, he appeared in the Transformers franchise, further expanding his Hollywood footprint. At his peak, Tyrese was a multifaceted entertainer who seamlessly combined music, film, and modeling. However, despite these successes, Tyrese's career and public image have faced notable turbulence. Over the years, he has been candid about his personal struggles, including issues with mental health, financial difficulties, and family conflicts. These challenges became highly publicized, particularly his very public legal battles over child support and custody disputes, which have played out on social media and in the press. Such exposure has sometimes overshadowed his professional achievements and created a complicated public persona. Professionally, Tyrese's outspoken nature and confrontational social media presence have led to mixed reactions within the entertainment industry. His candid and sometimes controversial posts have sparked backlash, affecting potential collaborations and business relationships. While still active in films and music, he has not always maintained the consistent momentum that marked the earlier stages of his career. Financially, Tyrese has faced challenges as well. Reports of legal fees and financial strains have occasionally surfaced, though he has also spoken about his efforts to rebuild and maintain financial stability. His transparency about setbacks resonates with many fans, but has also exposed the less glamorous side of celebrity life. Despite these hurdles, Tyrese remains committed to his craft and to personal growth. He continues to release music, act, and engage with his audience authentically. His journey reflects both the highs and lows of a multifaceted career in entertainment, reminding fans that success is often accompanied by complex personal battles. In summary, Tyrese Gibson's story is one of immense talent and determination, tempered by very public struggles that have complicated his career path. Yet his resilience and openness about life's difficulties keep him relevant and relatable in an ever-changing industry. Tasha Smith. Tasha Smith emerged as a powerful presence in Hollywood during the late 1990s and early 2000s, building a reputation for her compelling performances and strong character portrayals. Born in 1971, she honed her craft through theater and television before gaining wider recognition in films such as Why Did I Get Married and Dead Presidents. Smith's ability to bring depth and authenticity to every role earned her a dedicated fan base and respect within the industry. Her breakthrough came with Tyler Perry's Why Did I Get Married 2007, where she portrayed Angela, a woman facing complex marital and emotional issues. This role showcased her talent for embodying real flawed characters and opened doors to further opportunities in film and television. She continued collaborating with Perry and appeared in sequels, solidifying her position as a versatile and relatable actress. Despite her successes, Smith's career trajectory has experienced challenges that reflect the broader struggles many Black actresses face in Hollywood. Typecasting and limited opportunities for leading roles have often hindered her from breaking into the mainstream spotlight as a consistent lead. While she has excelled in supporting roles, the scarcity of diverse parts available for Black women has affected her visibility and career momentum. Beyond industry barriers, Smith has been open about personal struggles that intersect with her professional life. She has publicly shared her battles with depression and health issues, including a diagnosis of Graves' disease, an autoimmune disorder affecting her thyroid. These health challenges forced her to step back at times and focus on recovery, impacting her career pacing. Smith's candidness about mental health and self-care resonates with many fans and advocates, highlighting the importance of well-being in demanding careers. However, navigating Hollywood's pressures while managing personal health is a delicate balance, and this reality has influenced the roles and projects she could pursue. In addition to acting, Smith has directed and produced projects seeking to create more opportunities for herself and others in the industry. Her directorial work on Tyler Perry's For Colored Girls and other projects reflects her commitment to storytelling that amplifies Black voices. This shift toward behind-the-camera roles is a strategic response to the limited roles often available to Black actresses, allowing her to maintain creative control and influence. Despite these hurdles, Tasha Smith remains a respected figure in entertainment. Her resilience, talent, and dedication to advocacy make her a vital voice both on and off screen. While the path has not been without setbacks, her ongoing work and openness about personal and professional challenges inspire many. In conclusion, Tasha Smith's career exemplifies the complex realities faced by Black actresses in Hollywood, marked by impressive talent, industry limitations, personal trials, and an enduring drive to succeed. Kel Mitchell. Kel Mitchell first rose to fame in the 1990s as one half of the dynamic comedy duo on Nickelodeon's Kenan and Kel, a show that became a cultural touchstone for kids and teens during that era. Born in 1978, Kel's infectious energy, comedic timing, and memorable catchphrases made him an instant favorite among young audiences. His work alongside Kenan Thompson helped shape the landscape of children's television, combining humor with relatable storytelling that appealed across generations. Following the success of Kenan and Kel, Kel Mitchell starred in Good Burger 1997, a movie based on a recurring sketch from All That Nickelodeon's popular sketch comedy show. Good Burger became a cult classic and further established Mitchell as a standout comedic actor. During this peak period, Mitchell was one of the most recognizable Black child actors on television, praised for his humor and charm. However, after his early successes, Mitchell's career experienced significant obstacles. Like many child stars, transitioning from youth-oriented programming to more mature roles proved challenging. Typecasting and limited opportunities for Black actors in Hollywood added to the difficulties. After Nickelodeon, Mitchell found fewer substantial roles in mainstream film and television, leading to periods of relative obscurity. Beyond industry challenges, Kel Mitchell's personal life has also seen struggles. In the mid-2000s, he faced legal issues, including a highly publicized arrest in 2010 on charges that were later dropped, but which nonetheless impacted his public image. These incidents highlighted the pressure and pitfalls often faced by child stars navigating adulthood. Despite setbacks, Mitchell has been candid about his journey, discussing how faith and family have helped him overcome tough times. In recent years, Kel Mitchell has worked to reinvent himself. He has taken on roles in family-friendly projects, voice acting, and Christian-themed media, reflecting a shift toward projects that align with his values and personal growth. His return to the spotlight includes guest appearances on shows like Game Shakers and a recurring role on All That's Revival, reconnecting with the fans who grew up watching him. Mitchell's story also includes advocacy for mental health and positive representation, using his platform to encourage younger generations to persevere. He's engaged in motivational speaking and Christian ministry, showing a commitment to inspiring others beyond entertainment. Despite the ups and downs, Kel Mitchell remains a beloved figure in pop culture, particularly among millennials who remember him from their childhoods. His ability to adapt and find new ways to connect with audiences demonstrates resilience and a deep-rooted passion for performance. In summary, Kel Mitchell's career is a testament to the complexities many Black actors face early fame. followed by the struggle to maintain relevance amid industry challenges and personal growth. His ongoing efforts to evolve professionally and personally highlight both the obstacles and opportunities inherent in Hollywood. Lisa Bonet. Lisa Bonet became a household name in the late 1980s as Denise Huxtable on The Cosby Show, one of the most popular and influential television shows of its time. Born in 1967, Bonet's portrayal of the free-spirited and stylish Denise resonated with audiences, helping redefine the representation of young black women on TV. Her role was significant not only for her performance, but for challenging stereotypes by showing a complex, relatable character navigating family and adolescence. Following The Cosby Show, Bonet starred in the spin-off A Different World, but her time there was brief due to creative differences. Despite this, her talent and unique screen presence made her a sought-after actress. She further expanded her career with the critically acclaimed indie film Angel Heart 1987, showcasing her range by taking on darker, more complex roles that contrasted with her wholesome TV image. However, Lisa Bonet's career faced turbulence due to a combination of personal choices and industry pressures. Her decision to marry musician Lenny Kravitz in 1987, when she was still gaining fame, brought her increased media attention but also scrutiny. More notably, her starring role in the controversial film High Fidelity 2000 and her unconventional lifestyle eschewing Hollywood norms led to a gradual distancing from mainstream projects. She embraced artistic freedom, but at the cost of less visibility in big-budget productions. The 1990s and 2000s saw Bonet taking fewer roles, often turning toward more experimental or independent films rather than blockbuster hits. This move, while personally fulfilling, resulted in diminished mainstream fame. Furthermore, her connection to The Cosby Show era became complicated as the show's patriarch Bill Cosby faced multiple sexual assault allegations starting in the mid-2010s, which cast a shadow over the entire franchise. Despite this, Bonet continued to work steadily, including roles in HBO's The Red Road 2014-2015 and the critically praised series Ray Donovan 2018, where she demonstrated her enduring talent. Yet the level of stardom she once enjoyed never fully returned. Industry typecasting and her outspoken independent spirit sometimes made her a challenging figure for Hollywood executives seeking marketable conformist stars. On a personal level, Bonet has navigated complex family dynamics and public interest in her relationships, including her marriage and later separation from Kravitz and her relationship with actor Jason Momoa. Her life choices often defied celebrity norms, focusing on authenticity rather than fame. In summary, Lisa Bonet's career arc illustrates the difficulties many black actresses face in Hollywood, balancing artistic integrity with industry demands, managing personal life in the public eye, and dealing with shifting cultural tides. Though she never faded completely, her journey is marked by early promise, followed by intentional choices that led to less commercial visibility, but more personal freedom. Jussie Smollett. Jussie Smollett first rose to fame with his charismatic performances on stage and screen, ultimately becoming a standout star in the critically acclaimed TV series Empire. Born in 1982, Smollett began his acting career as a child, but it was his role as Jamal Lyon, a talented and openly gay musician on Empire, that brought him widespread recognition. His portrayal was groundbreaking, offering representation for LGBTQ+ individuals in a major television drama, while simultaneously highlighting complex issues of race identity and family. During Empire's early seasons, Smollett earned praise for his talent and presence, becoming one of the show's fan favorites. His performance helped elevate the series, which was praised for its diverse cast and its engagement with social themes. Smollett also pursued music, releasing his own work and using his platform to advocate for social justice causes, further building a promising career both as an actor and an artist. However, Smollett's rising trajectory took a drastic turn in January 2019 when he reported being the victim of a hate crime in Chicago. Initially, the attack appeared to be a racially and homophobic motivated assault drawing widespread media attention and public sympathy. Yet after an intense investigation, Chicago police accused Smollett of orchestrating the attack himself, claiming it was a hoax designed to raise his profile and secure a higher salary on Empire. The fallout was swift and severe. Smollett was charged with filing a false police report, leading to multiple court appearances and a highly publicized legal battle. Though the initial charges were dropped controversially in March 2019, new charges were later filed in 2020, culminating in a trial where Smollett was convicted of felony counts related to the staged attack. This scandal dramatically damaged Smollett's reputation, causing his character to be written off Empire and shutting many doors in Hollywood. Industry insiders and the public alike questioned his credibility and integrity, and he quickly became a controversial figure rather than a celebrated artist. The controversy overshadowed his previous achievements and led to a significant career decline. Since the incident, Smollett has struggled to regain professional footing. His attempts to return to acting have been met with resistance, and he remains a polarizing figure. The entertainment industry, known for being both forgiving and forgetful, has so far been reluctant to fully embrace him again. Jussie Smollett's story is a cautionary tale about how a single controversy, especially involving deception, can rapidly unravel a promising career, particularly in an industry that is highly image-conscious. His talent and early accomplishments are often overshadowed by the legal and ethical issues that followed, marking a significant fall from grace. Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg is one of the most recognizable and versatile figures in American entertainment. Born Corinne Elaine Johnson in 1955, she first gained acclaim in the mid-1980s with her breakthrough role in The Color Purple, 1985, earning an Academy Award nomination for Best Actress. Her unique blend of humor, dramatic talent, and outspoken personality quickly made her a beloved figure in Hollywood. Over the years, Goldberg has achieved the rare EGOT status, winning an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony Award, reflecting her success across multiple entertainment disciplines. Her early career was marked by a string of memorable roles in films like Ghost 1990, for which she won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress Sister Act 1992 and its sequel. Goldberg was not just an actress, but a cultural icon known for her distinctive voice, sharp wit, and fearless willingness to tackle social issues. She expanded her presence by becoming a popular television host, particularly as a co-host of The View, where she has been a fixture since 2007. Despite her long and successful career, Whoopi Goldberg has faced significant challenges and controversies that impacted her public image and career momentum. Known for her outspoken and unapologetic commentary, Goldberg often found herself at the center of heated debates. Over the years, some of her remarks on sensitive topics like race, gender, and politics sparked backlash from audiences and colleagues alike. One notable instance occurred in 2022 when Goldberg made controversial comments about the Holocaust and race, leading to widespread criticism. The backlash resulted in her being temporarily suspended from The View. This incident reignited debates about free speech responsibility and the limits of public discourse for celebrities. It also led to questions about how such controversies affect a veteran entertainer's legacy and ongoing career opportunities. Moreover, Goldberg's outspokenness sometimes alienated parts of her audience, leading to fluctuating public support. In a media landscape increasingly sensitive to social issues, her willingness to express unpopular opinions occasionally resulted in negative press and professional consequences. Despite these hurdles, Goldberg has remained active in entertainment and activism. She has used her platform to champion causes such as LGBTQ+ rights, HIV/AIDS awareness, and racial justice. Her resilience and ability to adapt have allowed her to maintain a presence in Hollywood, although her trajectory has seen periods of both acclaim and public scrutiny. Whoopi Goldberg's journey illustrates the complexities faced by Black entertainers who navigate fame, activism, and public opinion. While her early and mid-career successes were groundbreaking, The controversies she has encountered serve as reminders of the delicate balance between personal expression and public responsibility in a highly visible career. Isaiah Washington. Isaiah Washington emerged in Hollywood as a talented actor with a promising future. Born in 1963, he steadily built his career through the 1990s and early 2000s, with roles in films like Crooklyn 1994, Romeo Must Die 2000, and Exit Wounds 2001. However, his breakthrough came with the popular medical drama Grey's Anatomy, where he portrayed Dr. Preston Burke from 2005 to 2007. His role as a skilled cardiothoracic surgeon earned him recognition and a strong fan base, marking him as one of the more prominent black actors on network television during that time. Despite his rising profile, Isaiah Washington's career took a sharp downturn following a highly publicized controversy. In 2007, during the third season of Grey's Anatomy, Washington was involved in an on-set incident that received national media attention. Reports surfaced that he had used a homophobic slur directed at co-star T.R. Knight, which led to tension among the cast and crew. The controversy sparked widespread backlash, and after an internal investigation and pressure from both the public and the show's producers, Washington was fired from the series. This incident marked a turning point for Washington's career. His departure from Grey's Anatomy damaged his reputation in the entertainment industry, resulting in fewer high-profile roles. The incident also affected his standing within Hollywood, a community increasingly emphasizing diversity, inclusivity, and sensitivity regarding language and behavior. Washington publicly apologized for his language, but maintained that the situation was more complex than initially portrayed. Following Grey's Anatomy, Washington struggled to regain his former momentum. Though he continued acting in smaller roles across television and independent films, he never quite returned to mainstream prominence. His career choices often reflected a focus on niche projects, rather than major studio productions, signaling the lasting impact of the controversy on his opportunities. Beyond acting, Isaiah Washington has also worked behind the camera, taking on roles as a producer and director in an effort to reshape his career path. He has expressed a desire to address social issues through his work, and has spoken openly about personal growth and learning from past mistakes. Isaiah Washington's story underscores how quickly a promising acting career can be derailed by personal conduct and public perception. While his talent remains recognized, his legacy is inevitably tied to the controversy that led to his professional decline. His experience highlights the challenges black actors can face in maintaining career longevity amidst industry scrutiny and evolving social standards. Gary Dourdan. Gary Dourdan rose to fame as one of the most recognizable faces on television during the early 2000s, primarily through his role as Warwick Brown on the hit CBS crime procedural CSI Crime Scene Investigation. His portrayal of the dedicated and skilled crime scene investigator earned him critical acclaim and a loyal fan base. Joining CSI in 2000, Dourdan's character quickly became central to the show's success, contributing to its status as one of the highest-rated TV dramas of its era. However, despite his rising career trajectory, Gary Dourdan's professional life began to unravel amid personal and legal troubles that increasingly made headlines. In 2008, Dourdan's life took a difficult turn when he was arrested on suspicion of drug possession. This was not an isolated incident. He faced multiple run-ins with the law over the years related to drug use, including arrests for possession of heroin and cocaine. These legal issues not only affected his public image, but also raised serious concerns about his personal well-being. Dourdan's substance abuse struggles became well documented, and his addiction issues overshadowed his professional accomplishments. In 2008, after 8 seasons on CSI, he was reportedly let go from the show due to ongoing problems related to drug use and attendance issues. The producers stated that his departure was not solely due to his legal issues, but also involved concerns about his reliability and professionalism on set. Following his exit from CSI, Dourdan's career stalled. He struggled to find significant acting roles, and his attempts to revive his career were met with limited success. The entertainment industry's unforgiving nature toward actors battling addiction and legal troubles played a role in the decline of opportunities for Dourdan. While he occasionally appeared in independent films and guest spots on television, he never regained the high-profile status he once enjoyed. Beyond the screen, Gary Dourdan has been open about his addiction struggles and efforts to recover. He has sought treatment multiple times, underscoring the difficulties many face in overcoming substance abuse. His story serves as a cautionary tale about how personal battles can derail a promising career and the importance of support and rehabilitation. Gary Dourdan's journey highlights the complex challenges Black actors can encounter in Hollywood, where personal issues, public scrutiny, and professional pressures intersect. Despite his setbacks, Dourdan's early work remains memorable, but his career downturn reminds us how fragile success can be when faced with personal demons. The journeys of these Black actors remind us that fame is fragile, and success doesn't guarantee happiness or stability. Their stories spark important questions. What pressures unique to the entertainment industry contribute to these downfalls? How can the community better support Black talent facing personal struggles? Are these declines a reflection of larger systemic issues? We want to hear your thoughts. Do you see these as isolated cases or symptoms of deeper challenges? Join the conversation and share your perspective below. Don't forget to subscribe for more real stories and powerful discussions right here on Legends of Black Excellence.